Hi, I'm Ruth Ware. I'm the author of The Turn of the Key, which is about a young woman who answers a too good to be true advert for a nannying position in the Scottish Highlands. There's a beautiful smart house, there's a picture perfect family, but unsurprisingly when she gets there she finds out that maybe it is too good to be true. So I'm here at Waterstones Piccadilly and I would love to tell you about 3 books that have been really important to me as a writer for inspiration and as a reader because they're just all crackingly good reads. The first book that I want to share with you is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. Crime writers owe so much to Christie. So many of the things that we take for granted about the genre are stuff that she actually pioneered or came up with. There's the twist, there's the whodunit, there's the unreliable narrator. Christie got there first with all of them. And when she wrote The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, she actually got letters from readers about how unsporting it was. Today we have so much more freedom to plot and to deceive our readers because of Christie, and this book showcases everything that I love about her. There is the claustrophobic setting, there's the small cast of suspects getting slowly whittled down, and of course there are twists after twists after twists. It's a really good read and it's one of the best-selling books of all time, so a lot of people agree with me. The next book that I'd love to tell you about is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I always say that while Christie is my go-to expert for plot, du Maurier is who I look up to for character. And Rebecca has everything that I love. It has a creepy setting, it has some amazing twisted characters, some fabulous backstory, and it very directly fed into The Death of Mrs. Westaway in its kind of Cornish Gothic noir. There's a horrible housekeeper, there's an unreliable narrator, and there's a kind of twisted love story at the centre of it as well, so I highly recommend you read it. The final book that I want to tell you about is probably the most direct inspiration on The Turn of the Key, as you might be able to tell from the title. It's The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. And while The Turn of the Key isn't a rewrite of The Turn of the Screw, it definitely shares a few common themes. So The Turn of the Screw is about a nanny who's in charge of 2 small children, and she's slowly going a little bit crazy, as some of us do when in charge of kids. The story gets more and more claustrophobic, and the turn of the screw of the title I think is really about the ratcheting tension that you feel as a reader as Henry James slowly puts more and more pressure on this woman and you watch her disintegrate in front of your eyes. It has a brilliant ending, which I won't spoil for you, but one thing I often try to do in my own books is leave the reader with a sense of a question, and I think that's something that James does brilliantly in this. You will come away from this book with a final haunting question that you will have to decide the answer to. It's absolutely brilliant. It's also very short, so you get 3 extra short stories in this volume, and it's a really spooky read, so read it with the lights on.